Welcome to the Geeky Girls Internet Podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Wednesday, the 16th of August, 2017, and this is episode 255. We'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys. To all our returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. Dammy, we had some people introduce themselves in the Ravelry group this week. Why don't you give them a shout out?
Okay. Lynn, who is Kernow Princess from Reading, UK, and Luann, who is Wanna Knit More from Wisconsin.
I want to knit more too. Welcome to the group. Thanks for introducing yourselves. Dammy, if somebody is not a member of our Ravelry group, what should they do and why?
You should join and introduce yourself in our introductions thread because you'll get a shout out on our next episode and you'll be able to participate in all our owls and giveaways.
That's right. All right, well, we have quite a few things to talk about this week, so we probably should get started. Here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what is on our needles.
What is on your needles, Dammy?
I'm still...
Sorry, my stitch markers are clinky.
Put it inside.
It keeps falling outside, though.
I am still working on the two things I've been working on for the past several weeks. The Hades scarf, which is on US 6's 4mm needles. I'm using Ginger's hand-dyed Sheepish Decay in the Moon River colorway.
Okay.
I'm also working on the 5th Potiversary sock pattern sample for you. It's on US 1.5 2.5mm, made out of Owl About Yarn's Sparkle Owl.
Yes.
And again, I have not gotten a lot done on them, but on the train to Seattle, I'm going to try to get quite a bit of knitting done.
Okay, so let me interject that here. So we are taking the Amtrak train to Seattle next week. At the end of the show, we'll tell you about updates to when episodes will be recorded and go live. Yeah, so I think it's probably going to be very similar to the train journeys we took in the UK.
Hopefully.
So I've been saving podcasts to listen to and watch on the train. So, and 5th Potiversary kits will be going up for pre-order the last weekend of August, and we'll give you all the details in next week's episode. If you have not joined the Java Pearl Designs newsletter, go to
What?
Java Pearl Designs newsletter.
JavaPearlScience.com.
Yes,
I
that is
zoned
correct.
out.
Have you had coffee yet?
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear, it hasn't kicked in. And join the newsletter because the pre-orders will go up for newsletter subscribers a day before they do for the public, if there's any left, because it's a limited edition. So, okay. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, what's on your needles?
I have a couple things on my needles. First up is birthday socks for my bestie Katie. I'm using my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern. I'm using US 1.5, 2.5mm needles, and the yarn is Wild Happy Color hand-dyed yarn in the authentic base in the Northern Lights colorway. That's probably truer to color. It's deeper than what it's showing there. So it's beautiful blues and yellows and greens and purples and kind of a burgundy. When I was knitting on these the other day, and Jasmine was around, and she said she thought it reminded her of Monet's, one of his lily paintings.
Water lilies.
Water lily paintings. But it's beautiful, and I know she will love these socks, so I'm working on those. And the other thing I'm working on is my harmonized shawl, which is a pattern by Romy Hill. Apparently I was saying it wrong, but you guys know I butcher names, so never intentionally, but sometimes it just happens. So I am on US 4's 3.5mm needles, and the yarn is Little Yellow Ute Crafts Soprano Sock High Twist in the Corporate Rebel colorway, and Knit Picks Palette in the Cream, Almond, Coriander Heather, Wheat Heather, Bittersweet Heather colorways. I am almost done. Oh, look how pretty that is.
Very stripy.
I can't pull it all the way out because my needles aren't long enough, but here, let me pull it in closer so you can see the colors. So I am in the final section. I think I have somewhere between like 40 and 50 rows left. So I really, really, really want to finish this for Stash Dash. So I had figured out if I did 12 rows a day, I would get it done for Stash Dash. And I'm currently sitting at like, I think I'm like 14 or 15 rows ahead of where I should be. So this is very probably going to happen to be finished for Stash Dash. And it should push me right up, I think a little bit over the 7,000 mark, because I'm sitting at like between 64 and 6,500 right now. And I'm done with 3 of the contrast colors, and those alone I think were like 300 and some odd meters. So, and I've used almost the full skein of the Corporate Rebel colorway. So it's very probable that I will be done for Stash Dash. Yay. So that's everything that's all my needles, because I finished a couple things this week. So let's talk about it.
And now we're going to talk about your finished projects.
2 of them. So first up, I finished the Hub's 20th anniversary socks, which he's not allowed to have until he's sitting in there eating his breakfast, and he was like,
What was that?
yes, that's what he's doing. Are you excited about your socks? He says yes. Yes.
That's how we did it.
Okay, I didn't even finish. So these are for our 20th anniversary, which is the 20th of September. So he has to wait about a month before he can have them. Oh, he's pouting now. He's sad.
There's a branch moving very wildly outside.
Wind or squirrel?
Person. Looks like. Or very large animal pulling on it.
Oh, I wonder if the people next door were having lawn work done. So I wonder if it's them like clipping a branch or
And
something.
that looks like someone's waving it in the air.
Like you just don't care?
Okay, talk about your socks.
These are for my French vanilla cappuccino sock pattern. A US 1.5 2.5 mil needles, and the yarn is Fierce Fibers 24 karat in the hot tamale colorway. I love the faux stripes.
Sparkling.
They're dark. That's still not very true to color.
They're sparkly.
They are sparkly. They're a lot.
You hear that? They're sparkly.
They're like much closer to like this dark color up here in the quilt. So those are finished, and I don't know where my bigger sock blockers are right now, so that's why they're not on blockers. So I finished those, and then here is this week's preemie hat. This is number 33 for the year. This is from my top
I'm
down.
going to talk about the colors when you're done.
Top down preemie hat colorway pattern.
Sorry.
You said colors and it threw me. This is from my free top down preemie hat pattern on Ravelry. You can get it for free. Just go on Ravelry. It's on US 6's 4 mil needles, and the yarn is Nerd Girl Yarns Bounce and Stop in the Sorry Not Sorry colorway. So I held it doubled. So it's got blacks and blues and yellows and greens and reds and whites.
Mm-hmm. It looks like Harry Potter colors.
Oh, it does. I don't know what the Sorry Not Sorry reference is. It's somewhere in my brain, but I don't know what it is.
It's just a thing that people say.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like some fandom something.
I don't think so.
Okay, so there is that preemie hat, number 33 for the year. Why was it funny that I said you can get the pattern on Ravelry for free?
Because you said it's from your free top-down preemie hat pattern, and then once you'd finish that, you said, and you can get it for free, like you hadn't just said it was free.
The coffee has not kicked in. So, that's everything I finished. I already told you that I'm somewhere between 64 and 6,500 meters. I'm not going to look it up and tell you exactly. Yeah. So, I think that's everything for this segment.
Okay.
Let's move on to the next one. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show. Yummies. What are yummy dammy? What are yummies? Oh my gosh, you guys.
Yummies are our current, don't slurp. Yummies are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies, like coffee. Because apparently I need to ingest some more before I talk to you. Okay, so first up, I posted about this on the Instagram and social media, but I thought I would talk about it here because it makes me very happy. So, because of my fibromyalgia, I have not been able to wear jeans for several years because combination of three things. One, the buttons or snaps. Number two, the zipper. Those are both painful against my skin, and also a lot of jean material tends to be rougher feel to it.
Sturdy.
Because of my fibromyalgia, that was all very painful. So I had not worn jeans for years. And I was telling Jasmine from the Knitmore Girls, who we're staying at Knitmore East and West this summer. I was telling her about this, and she was like, what about maternity jeans? Because most of them have the softer front panel. There's no buttons or zippers. And you can look to see if they have any like softer jean material. And I was like, oh, that's an idea. Let me think about that. So I ordered a couple of pairs of jeans from Old Navy because they were having a sale. I got a really good deal on them to try. So anyway, sorry, people are doing lawn work this morning. Fun times. So they work. I wore them and they were comfortable, and yeah, it just made me very happy that I can wear jeans again. So maternity jeans for me for the fibromyalgia. So I know several other people with fibro commented and were like, oh, that's a really good idea. I'm going to try that. So kudos to Jasmine of the Knitmore Girls for making it where I could wear jeans again. The other thing that I wanted to talk about in Yummies is it's been cooler here in San Jose, California, where we're currently at. In fact, I'm wearing a cardigan. So the mornings have been cool enough that I needed a cardigan and socks on my feet. And then it warms up in the afternoon. But I'm loving cooler weather. And we're really excited to get to Seattle, where the weather is also cooler, other than that wicked heat wave they had earlier this summer. So, how are you feeling about the cooler weather?
I like it.
Okay, do we have anything else to talk about in Yummies?
I don't think so.
Sorry, there was just not. So then let's talk about hashtag GTK Crafty Pad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month. So you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like. But we pick our favorites from Instagram.
So, we will be releasing the September list next week. We have to work on that. But we're finishing up summertime and celebrating our Podiversary this month, and then just some other regular just knitting, crafting related prompts, etc. So, what are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. Huzzah. Great job, everybody. So it's never too late to join in. You take a look at the prompt for the day. So the day we're recording this, the prompt is happy. You take a picture interpreting that prompt however you want. We're very cheater friendly on that. You post it on Instagram, but make sure in the caption you use hashtag GGKCraftyPad, because that's how we find your photos. And yours might get chosen. Yeah, and we are still working on details of upcoming events. We'll keep you updated when we know for certain on those things. So I think that's everything for Yummies. So let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
So what are you reading, Jamie?
I am still reading War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy.
Okay. This is a reread.
Yes.
Okay.
I read it in November, I think.
Do you have anything you would like to say about it?
Not so far. Nothing terribly interesting has happened yet.
I assume you're not to the Great Common yet.
No, that's much further in. I
Okay.
can't remember which volume it's in.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to say?
No.
Okay.
What are you reading?
A lot of things. So I'm still reading Big Magic, Creative Living Beyond Fear by Elizabeth Gilbert. I think I'm at like 80 or 85%. So hopefully I'll have it finished by the time we record next week. And then fiction-wise, I read The Girl Who Dared to Think by Bella Forrest. That was a Kindle Unlimited. This is a new series that takes place in the same world as a previous series that I read from her. I read Freaky Games, which is a Mystic Caravan Mystery, Book 4 by Amanda M. Lee, another Kindle Unlimited. It's about people with magic and fantasy world that are in a circus. And they stop evil things from happening. What are you doing?
The window.
Oh, it's reflecting in your glasses. Sorry. And then I read book number 47 in A Shade of Vampire series by Bella Forrest. I'm really ready to be done with this segment that they're in, but it's not ending yet. And then I read the third book in the Dying Covenant trilogy by Amanda M. Lee, called Everlasting Covenant, and it was the end of the series, and it was really good. It tied up loose ends, although I did feel like the end was a little rushed. And then I read No Chance in Spell, Lexi Balefire Matchmaker Witch, which is the fourth book in the Fate Weaver series by Regina Welling, and that was good. All of these have been Kindle Unlimited. And I've just started the Hardy Brothers Security series by Lily Harper Hart. I finished reading books 1 and 2. These have adult content, though. So, not for you.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so I think everything except for the nonfiction I'm reading was Kindle Unlimited this week. So, all right, let's talk about watching. I have been watching Hallmark movies and mysteries and movies.
Hallmark Channel original movies.
No, this is on the Mysteries and Movies, or Movies and Mysteries channel.
Sure.
It's a separate channel from the Hallmark channel. There's 2 channels.
Okay.
Okay, so I have been watching the Garage Sale Mystery series, which I think I watched some of them last week. But, so I watched The Deadly Room, The Wedding Dress, Guilty Until Proven Innocent, The Novel Murders, The Art of Murder, and The Beach Murder. There's a lot of crossover of actors between these and, what's the series?
When Calls the Heart.
When Calls the Heart.
Because Hallmark has a small pool of actors to pick from.
Well, there's also been some sci-fi actors, because I'm pretty sure they're filming in Canada. The hose is looking at us like we're insane. What's going on?
Do your own stuff.
This is why we normally don't have an audience when we record.
Mm-hmm.
So I have one more movie to watch and I'll be caught up, but there's 2 more of these movies coming out this month, because they were putting one out every Sunday this month. And then I have another Hallmark series ready to queue up when I finish those. And then with Outlander starting season 3 in September, I've been rewatching some of the episodes. So, yeah. Did we watch it? Oh, I know what we watched that I forgot to put in the show notes. We watched the first episode of the new DuckTales.
Yes.
With David Tennant as the voice of Scrooge McDuck.
He's a real quack.
What did you think of it?
It was cute. I've never seen any of the
original, yeah.
DuckTales, so I had no basis to compare it to.
Yeah, I was singing the theme song.
Yes, you were.
You in Duckburg. I really want to watch when they have Lin-Manuel Miranda as the voice of what was his? Gizmo Duck.
Quack. Are all their last names Duck?
No.
No?
No, because I know Gizmo Duck. That is his alternate identity. His I can't remember what his
something complicated.
Yeah, it is Fenton something maybe. Something I don't know. Anyway, okay, and I need to add that to the show notes. And then I've been listening to our Spotify CC and Dammy Love Musicals playlist.
Mm-hmm.
We've also listened to quite a bit of Hamilton this week.
Mm-hmm.
What have you listened to?
The same 3 things I've been listening to for the past couple of weeks. The Great Comet.
The last 6 weeks.
The Great Comet, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Anastasia.
Cool.
And now I'm hoping Anastasia doesn't close on Broadway, because now a 3rd show is going to close on Broadway, and this is the 3rd in a little over a week, I think.
So what is closed?
What
is closing? I mean,
The Great Comet is closing on September 3rd.
Okay.
And then I think both on September 17th, Bandstand and Groundhog Day are closing. Don't say Groundhog Day. These people are out of a job now.
I understand. I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the concept.
Bill Murray saw it twice and was moved to tears.
Oh dear. Because
he enjoyed it.
Because he realized how bad a story it is?
Because he enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm sad that the actors are out of work.
And not just the actors, the musicians, and the stage managers, and the ushers, and everyone else who
Tech
works
crew.
in the theater.
Yeah. So, yeah. It seems like doing life in a theater can be very...
And Groundhog Day was extremely popular.
I don't know. My stitch markers are clanking together. Sorry about that. Okay. Well, that's very sad that more shows are closing, so. Alright, do you have anything else to talk about in this segment?
No.
Alright, let's move on to the next one. And now it's time for our summertime and the living is easy.
Ow.
So we don't have much longer left on this, just a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually, around a couple of weeks. So this along started on the 1st of June and runs through the 31st of August. It's for any project you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us is related to summertime. So that's one of the main rules, is it has to be a Ravelry craft.
Mm-hmm.
The other main rule is that no whips are allowed. So you had to start your project June 1st or later and finish by the end of August. Feel free to poly dip in other owls as long as it meets the rules. We have lots of lovely prizes that are on the screen right now. Thank you so much to our sponsors who have donated those prizes. If you'd like to know more about them, go to
geekygirlsknit.com.
There are photos and links and all that jazz. Or tune in to the first podcast of every month where we talk about the prizes in detail. You have to be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry to participate. Every project that you post in the FO thread counts as one entry into the giveaways. The hashtag is hashtag GGKCraftyPad. That's not right. Hashtag GGKSummertime17. We'll lock the FO thread the morning of the 1st of September, and winners will be drawn on the next podcast after that. You'll have 30 days to claim your prize if you are a winner, or you forfeit it. There is a chatter thread where Dammy gives a shout out to everybody who finishes projects. But we also do shout outs here on the podcast. So why don't you tell us who has finished projects this week?
Okay. Aidbar, Anvita Sinha 1, Army Tink 08, Country Bumps, Crafty ZD, Delaney 33, DG White, Dueling Needles, Aaron Ireland, Philippa MC, Flymeister, Jalarima, Inagata Janeda, Kana Soup, Kersey S, Knit Central, Knit Live Love, Knitter Chow, Lane L, Little Angel SG2, El McCall, Mimi Key Knits, MOES Crochet, Mookie Moo 1974, MS Golden Needles, MVA 5493, SLC3, Sylvia 1002, This Dove Knits, and VT Kimmy Kim.
Great job, everybody. So keep working on those projects. You have a couple weeks to get them finished and posted, and you could be a winner of a prize. All right, I think we're ready to move on to our next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them.
That's right. So what is this week's question, Naomi?
This week's question comes from Rhonda, who is Dueling Needles from Pennsylvania. Am I reading it?
Yes, please.
Whose idea was it originally to begin podcasting? How did the other person feel about the idea? Has there ever been a time when you thought about not podcasting?
Okay. So, whose idea was it originally to begin podcasting? Me, kind of. So it was where we lived at the time, there was a local yarn store that we visited quite often, and that's how I was introduced to knitting podcasts like the Knitmore Girls and the Knit Girls, etc. And just in conversation one day, it was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if y'all did a podcast? And I was like, oh, that could be fun. So I talked to you.
Yes.
And you agreed?
I don't remember what I said.
Well, evidently you agreed eventually or at some point, because we started doing it. We're 5 years in now almost.
Mm-hmm.
So, so it was my idea. I wanted to do video so that we could show stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So has there ever been a time when you thought about not podcasting?
I don't know.
Has there ever been a time when you were like, okay, I want to be done podcasting, or I don't want to podcast?
Yeah, but I don't know why. I don't know.
I think the times when I have felt like, okay, I think I'm done, I don't want to podcast anymore, has been times when there's like been a lot of stress in our day-to-day life, and it was like, oh, we need to podcast. But it's also been a really good thing to have this thing that's on become a normal part of our routine. Wednesdays are podcast days, and obviously we have had to change it here or there, but Wednesdays are the days we podcast, and that's just become part of our routine and our rhythm of life. And the community that has come about because of podcasting, the people we have met because of podcasting, it's been really amazing, and we're really grateful for the relationships we've built because of podcasting, and for the community that y'all provide as part of our show.
Mm-hmm.
Did that make sense at all?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. It's just amazing. I mean, I did not envision this when we started 5 years ago. I thought it was just going to be a little thing where you and I did it every week, and it was just going to be a few people watching, and yeah, we're so grateful. I'm sorry, I'm just like, it's emotional. We're just so grateful for each and every one of y'all, and I don't know that I can envision not podcasting. Mm-hmm. I mean, there may come a day where we decide that, but right now, we're still enjoying it.
Mm.
And y'all are still watching. So, so for the foreseeable future, we'll continue podcasting. What do you have to say?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yes, what you said.
Okay. Okay. And also it's been so...
Don't talk about seeing me grow.
That's exactly what I was going to talk about. Watching you grow up from 12 to where you are now at 17 is just amazing. And the way your personality and your loves and your interests have been shared, the way you've shared them and everything, it's amazing. And I'm really grateful that we have this visual representation that we can look back on and see you growing up. So, okay, do you have anything else you want to say about podcasting?
No.
We love y'all. And I love you. And I'm so glad that you're my co-host.
I love you too.
Okay, so thanks so much, Rhonda, for the question. If somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
All right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now we have a review.
And we're reviewing an older issue, but...
An older issue of what?
Of what I'm about to show them, Pom Pom Quarterly. So this is issue number 6 from autumn 2013, and Ramona Firehorse, you might remember a couple weeks ago, sent us a couple of issues that we were missing from Pom Pom Quarterly.
Mm-hmm.
And since we have not ever talked about them on the podcast, we thought that we would review them for you. So this, again, is autumn 2013, and this is Cabled Vivid Texture Knitted is the theme. And, okay, let me stick my finger in the thing back here so that I can tell you about the things in detail. So first up is this stunning sweater.
That's the back cover as well.
Oh yeah, it is. There we go. This is gorgeous. This is the Morganite by Karina Ferguson. It's lace that reminds them of stained glass windows on an autumn evening. And Karina was attempting to recreate the feeling of autumn where she grew up in Ohio. So here's the front.
Might be a better picture on the next page.
No. So this comes in 5 sizes. It's knit with DK weight yarn on US 7s, which is 4.5 mil needles. And it's worked flat from the bottom up. And
it looks like slightly baggy.
Yeah, it's meant to be oversized. And I was going to say, I know, but I was going to say the charts are really amazing. They're very clear and easy to understand. Next up is the Amylite Cowl, which is by Alexa Ludeman, who is half of Tin Can Knits. All the colors of the yarn for these projects are just stunning and totally remind me of autumn. Alexa was inspired by a dark forest rich with autumn foliage. So this comes in 2 sizes. It's knit with worsted weight yarn on US 8s 5 mil needles. And it's knit from bottom to top in the round. Here's another picture of it. It's really pretty. Really, really pretty. And I like that there's 2 different sizes. So you can either knit it the 50 centimeter or the 100 centimeter size. So like
circumference, is it?
So you could make
it?
You could, no, it's knit in the round.
Oh.
So you could make it would make it like a longer cowl though, that you could like double up if you wanted to or whatever. Okay, next up is the
quadrillion.
Or
quadrillion.
Okay.
I don't know.
This is by Megan Fernandez. This is a double moss stitched 8 cabled feet of knitting chart love. Oversized with dolman sleeves and a split hem. Look at that.
It's beautiful, but that description makes it sound intimidating.
It does make it sound a little intimidating. Here's another photo of it. Look at those sleeves. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this comes in 5 sizes. It's knit with DK weight yarn on US 6's 4mm needles. It has a lot of ease. They're calling for 14 to 16 inches of positive ease.
Because of all the cables.
Yes.
That's an interesting chart.
That is
it's sideways.
Yes.
Still interesting.
It has something to do with the repeats of so there's a lot of chart. It's several different charts put together. That's why it looks interesting. Front and back is worked separately and then joined at the seams. And sleeves are picked up and worked down towards the cuffs. They recommend that you use washi tape or sticky notes to mark your place in each cable.
That's a good idea.
And there's also a tutorial later in the issue about cabling without a cable needle.
With that many cables, I would use a cable needle probably.
Well, but if it's just a 1x1 cable, that wouldn't be so hard. So, yeah, and I love that there's a cable on the sleeves as well. Next up is the Hero Mittens by Kelly Ashfield. This was inspired by wrought iron with slip stitches and bobbles.
Bobbles.
They're so beautiful. That purse is really stunning too. Just FYI. Thought I'd throw that in there. These are 2 sizes, knit with DK weight yarn on US 5's 3.75mm needles. And
more cables.
Yep, so it's worked from the cuff down to the hand. These look like cables, though, that you could do without a cable needle because they're just 1x1 cables.
Oh, I didn't know what the B was in the chart.
Oh, the bobble. The bobble. So those are really, really pretty. This is gorgeous, but I think I would go nuts trying to knit it because it's so long.
Well, it looks like it's knit with large yarn and needles.
Okay, well, we'll look at that in a minute. So this is the
Vermeil
scarf by
Wank
Lucas. It's super long, so you can wrap and wrap and wrap.
And wrap and wrap and never stop wrapping.
It's got a geometric cable and moss stitch pattern.
It's on the cover.
It's beautiful, but I think I would go nuts knitting it. So it's only in 1 size. It is 125 inches long. It's knit with...
That's 2 of me.
It must be knitted with... It doesn't say the weight of the yarn.
It looks like bulky or whatever is just a step below bulky.
Yeah, because it's knit on US 10's 6mm needles. It's really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's just got 1x1 cables.
What's TR2?
Where are you seeing
What's
this?
TR2? It was just there. Oh.
T2R. It's the cable stitch.
Okay.
Okay, next up after that we have the Briolet by Anna Wilkinson.
Pretty.
Riot of color and interesting techniques to jazz up any dreary weather day. It's really pretty. It's not a style that I would wear. So this comes in 5 sizes on DK weight yarn on US 3's 3.25mm needles and US 6's 4mm needles.
Multiple colors.
Yes, it takes
5, 4, 4.
4 colors.
The color panel is interesting.
Yeah. I was trying to see.
Let's see what.
It doesn't say.
Does it say?
I was trying to see the construction. It looks like it's worked separately.
It says shape armholes. Like, it isn't shaping.
No, you're shaping the holes.
Look at the finishing.
Yeah.
Block pieces.
Pieces. Okay. So it's really interesting. It's just not one that I would wear. Next up is this beauty. How lovely is that? This is the
Ardvassar
hat by Lucy
Haig.
If we're butchering names, it's not intentional. We apologize. So this is Celtic cables, and it's a technique to try.
Oh, Celtic cables with garter stitch.
And a 3-dimensional twist, where the strands of the cable even morph into I-cord ties. Another photo of it. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Okay, so this comes in 3 sizes. It's knit with Aran weight yarn on US 8's 5mm needles.
You can see the cable into I-cord tie there.
So this has several different cables, but it's also got this the technique that I was just talking about to do the Celtic cables. So
without a cable needle, you mean?
No, you use a cable needle.
Oh.
No, wait, maybe not.
Because the technique you were talking about earlier was cabling without a cable needle.
Yes, no, but this is the Celtic cable thing that they were talking about in the details. It's beautiful, beautiful. Then we have the
Almondine
scarf by
Anushka Tay.
So this doubles as a hood. Awesome. Squishy garter stitch with a pixie hood.
Yeah, it says in the description about like baby bonnets. That's what it reminded me of when I saw it.
And you could even have contrast pom-poms. It's so pretty. Especially if you lived someplace where it's really, really windy. It would be wonderful. So this comes in 1 size. It's done with chunky weight yarn on US 10 6mm needles, and it's knit from the top of the crown downward. And it's really, really pretty. That is all the patterns. And then we have an article called First Autumn Chill, which is by Anushka Tay, where she's talking about the inspiration behind her hooded scarf that we just showed you. And then we have an article called Celtic Art and Cable Knitting by Lucy Haig, talking about the Celtic cables from her project. And it's also got a
photo
tutorial for those that. And then we have all the patterns, which we've talked about. We have a how to cable without a cable needle tutorial.
What's the right one?
Right twist and left twist. Then we have Recipes, Delicious Decadence by Rebecca Litchfield. We have the Surrey Rose Cocktail, and we have the Dark Kirsch Cherry and Black Pepper Truffles. And then we have an article called La Casita de Windy.
Sure, yes. I thought that was one word, but it's not.
By Lydia Gluck, and talking about these designers and what their design aesthetic is, and they got these
it's fashion and art.
Yes, beautiful. I love that one with the birds on it.
Birds.
And then we have an article called Out of the Loop by Annie Prime. And this article is by a woman who does not knit but has knitting friends, and talking about how she relates to her knitting friends and how knitting friends can relate to people who are not knitters. So it was a cute article. That is the issue. This is Pom Pom Quarterly, issue 6, autumn 2013 issue. What do you think?
I really like this one.
This is a great issue. I really, really liked it a lot. You should definitely check it out. It's available on Ravelry. And again, thank you to Ramona Firehorse for sending us this issue. We'll be reviewing the other issue that she sent us, issue 7, in next week's podcast.
This is a reminder That we still have a giveaway going on.
Yes. So last week we reviewed Chest of Bone, the knit collection inspired by the Chest of Bone novel by Vicky Stifel. And we are actually giving away 2 copies because Vicky contacted us after she heard our review and offered to give away 2 copies instead of just one. So 2 people will win. So in order to win a copy of the knit collection, go to our Ravelry group, find the giveaway thread, and tell us your favorite pattern from the collection, and we'll announce the winners in next week's episode 256. And again, thank you to Vicky for donating copies for us to give away.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to the next segment. Yay!
Yay.
We made it to the end.
Yes.
We have an announcement. So next week's episode 256, will go live on Tuesday, the 22nd of August. We are, as we mentioned earlier in the episode, we are taking the train to Seattle, the Amtrak train. And so we leave that Tuesday evening, and it's almost a 24-hour journey. So obviously we can't put up an episode, we can't record an episode on Wednesday the 23rd. So we'll be recording on Monday the 21st, and it'll go live on the 22nd. And then episode 257 will most likely be delayed. We will let you know as soon as we know. So keep an eye on the Ravelry group. There's an announcements thread, or on social media. And we will talk to you about that there. Okay, we want to say a big thank you to everyone who supports the podcast, however that is. I lost my words. Commenting in the episode threads, watching, commenting
on iTunes.
Yep. Thumbs up on YouTube, comments on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Participating in the owls, etc. But a huge thank you, especially to those who support the podcast financially. The main way you can do that is on Patreon, which is a site where you pledge an amount each month to support your favorite creatives, and you get rewards based on your level. If you'd like to know more about that or sign up, you can go to
patreon.com/geekygirlsknit.
What's another way, Dammy?
We have a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
And we are amazon.com.co.uk and .canada affiliates. If you're shopping on one of those sites, if you go through our website first, Amazon gives us a little money back based on what you purchase. It does not cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to help the podcast by doing something you were already doing anyway. So, Dammy, if they want more information about any of that, or they want to know where to find us online, including everything we talked about in this week's episode, because it's all linked up, where do they go?
geekygirlsknit.com, and there are the links to everywhere else you can find us online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
That's right. Well, with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. We hope you have a lovely rest of your week, and we will be with you in just a few days instead of a full week from now. Yeah, and happy knitting, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
And then I just started reading the Hardy Brothers Security series by Lily Harper Hart. This has adult content. And I read books 1 and 2. Good morning, Hubs. It's okay. Would you like to say hello to the people?
Hello, people.
Hello, people. There you go.